what is occurring on the homelands and remote communities of these elders is a creeping extinction of life, particularly in the 500 smaller homelands, but in the larger remote communities as well. We have the responsibility not only to talk, but to act and to say, in this nation, we will not be part of this. And so those people, from Catherine Freeman to Archie Roach, to Ali Cobby Eckermann, to the novelists, to the first Aboriginal surgeon, Dr. Kelvin Kong, to the people that understand that this policy has made virtually all aspects of life in these communities worse than 10 years ago. Why is the disastrous housing situation still unaddressed, where people who call this country home on their homelands do not have adequate, safe living quarters, the most fundamental of human rights? Why are their children still malnourished and in neglect? Why is the education system that was meant to be about acknowledging who they are and their language and their culture seeing faltering attendance? Why is every policy in these communities punitive? So the income management, the community development program, all of these things are big stick threats to people. And none of the decision making of the local organisations exists anymore. That's the obliteration that the intervention has delivered. Delivered on the back of a big lie that smeared Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people across this entire nation.
Kevin Rudd, the former Labor government Prime Minister, made a public statement: there will no longer be no more stolen generation taken. And yet, Eddie Benson has hidden their task, continuing doing that by taking children away.
It's interesting that Sir Ronald Wilson was probably well known at the time as a black letter law, pretty much straight conservative lawyer when he left the High Court. By the time he finished at the Australian Human Rights Commission, he was saying that to take children from their Aboriginal parents in the way that occurred was a form of genocide. Now, this was a radicalised judge, quite extraordinary that he should move from the original position as a conservative lawyer to this really quite strong statement for which he was much criticised.
We have never ceded our country. We've never given an inch of it away. It's been taken. And being the noble people that we are, we even welcomed our brothers and sisters from overseas. We welcomed them. Whilst they kicked us, whilst they raped our children, created people with mixed ethnic backgrounds, and then said those half-castes are a danger.
If the government had a national emergency in 2007, what it has ensured over the last decade is that it entrenches ongoing emergency. What we've got now is sustained emergency. Things haven't shifted. And what the concerned Australians are doing and the eminent Australians are asking for, and what a wonderful, diverse cross-section of Australian society we have amongst those people, many of whom I know are in this room. What we're saying is enough is enough. The intervention can't go on for another 5 years. It has to stop now. And in its place, what we have to see is a re-empowering of remote Indigenous communities. What we have to see is the restoration of some of the institutions, like the Community Development Employment Program, like community housing associations, like community government that, like our governments and our institutions, may not have been perfect, but these are institutions that worked a great deal better than the paternalistic and punitive forms of neoliberalism that have been imposed on these remote and vulnerable places.
We young people have been given a chip by this government to just go, 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 go until we die. I will fight that. I am no longer interested in sitting down and talking with this government, for they do not hear me. They do not want to listen to what I have to say.